Oh, oh, everybody was kung flu fighting. They hit the stores like lightning. They all wanted pretty clean high knees, buttholes with expert shining. We've been social distancing from everyone in town. Been searching everywhere, but no paper to be found. We must stay 6 feet apart, even outdoors and in the park. From store to store I run, but no paper for my bum. Everybody was kung flu fighting. They hit the stores like lightning. They all wanted really clean high knees, but those with expert shining.
All right, what is up, everybody? On this segment of Graph Talk, I've got a gentleman, a comedian who I've seen, God, probably 5 or 6 times from his days as a MC or DJ at the Comedy Zone in Greensboro, and he went on and started doing, special Valentine shows in Greensboro, which I've been a part of. This dude is absolutely hilarious. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. His name is Chris Wiles. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be a part of this project.
Awesome, man.
Happy to be a part of any project, really, at this point.
yeah, and I definitely, appreciate you taking the time to do it for sure. It's few and far between for the people that agree to it, and I'm so excited you agreed to it, having seen you several times and make me laugh my ass off.
Well, the one thing is nobody can say they don't have the time to do something like this right now. Like, all we have is time, man.
It's kind of surprising because I got an email today from a gentleman that plays in the NBA. I won't go into his name or anything, but I got an email. It's like, yeah, unfortunately, we're trying to figure out how to fill this downtime, so we're gonna pass on it. So I was like, okay, no problem.
Right.
And so, in your autograph experiences, can you think of anything just like wild or outrageous or out of the ordinary that you have autographed?
I have signed probably in my career, I've probably signed, close to 200 sets of breasts in my life. That seems to be the going thing around comedy clubs for some reason. A bachelorette party gets drunk or whatever, and they just walk up and go, "Sign my boobies." I'm like, okay. Yeah, I've done that quite a few times. Not so much since I've been married, but definitely back in the day when I was just MCing before I started headlining the country and working Carnival Cruise lines and such. But Carnival Cruise lines, you don't get that as often. But I've had a couple ask me why I've been on the ships, but I usually turn that down. I was like, how about just like the arm?
Something that a little more kid friendly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think.
And the other thing, I actually signed a gentleman's car one time. He wanted me to sign his car, which I thought was a little strange, but it was like, okay. And so, I signed the hood of his car, pretty large too. I don't know if he still has the car, actually.
I imagine that's a pretty good selling point for him if he did sell it. It's like, hey man, this comes with Chris Wiles' autograph.
That's right. That's got to bring the retail value up at least $11, at least.
Well, I'll say 15.
I'm pretty sure sold. We need to find the guy now.
Let's do it, yeah. I wonder if that comes off in the car wash or not. Just randomly thinking there, but
it was a Sharpie, so I don't think so.
Oh man, that one's on there to stay. If it got sold, it's going with it.
Oh yeah.
And in your days in comedy and everything, has there been like an individual, like another comedian or an individual that asked for your autograph that you're like, holy crap, that guy just asked for my autograph, or that person just asked for my autograph?
No, I've never had anybody like real famous. I've worked with a lot of big acts and stuff. I've worked with Chris Rock, I've worked with Andrew Dice Clay, Norm Macdonald, Carrot Top, and none of them asked me for their autograph. back when I was single, it was always waiting for, the hottest chick in the club to go up and ask for an autograph. That was always the cool thing, and I've had that happen a couple of times. But no one real famous has ever asked for my autograph.
I got you. Still the hot chick, though. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I can get on board with that.
I'll take the hot chick. And, of course, now I'm married to the hot chick, so that's cool.
Yeah, it works out in the end either way.
Mm-hmm.
And the third and final question is, if you could have anyone's autograph in the world, whose would it be? It doesn't matter if it was, before Jesus or after Jesus or anything like that.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I'm actually thinking probably Jesus Christ. That would be a good one to have.
Yeah. I did one of these videos with the wrestling legend Don Cornell. He wrestled with Sergeant Slaughter for a while, and that was his answer.
Right.
So yeah,
Jesus would be up there pretty good. The one of the celebrities I'd love to meet and hang out with would probably be Mick Jagger. I'm a big Stones fan, so he's the longevity in the game is pretty badass, man. I mean, 77 years old and still rocking out. I just like to be in his presence for 15. Have his ear for 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool autograph to have too. But Jesus would definitely take the cake, man.
Yeah, the I guess like most popular man that ever lived, if you want to think about it that way.
Yeah, I just want to know who his PR guy is. We're still talking about that guy.
It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You're still talking about him.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome, man. Well, that's gonna do it. Like I said, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I've watched you many times, and going back to the whole breast thing, I was telling my wife, when you responded, I was like, holy crap, I got Chris Wiles. He agreed to do it, and she was like, I remember being at one of his shows, and you were emceeing and you were hosting, and there was the bachelor party right there or bachelorette party right there in the front, and you just in the middle of a sentence, you look down at this girl and you're like, man, your tits are just like right there. and that stuck with my wife. She found that to be extremely funny. So
yeah, I tell you what, man, I've often wondered how many bachelorette parties I've done. I know it's got to be close to 1,000 bachelorette parties I've done, and I wonder what my ratio is as far as successful marriages go.
What the odds are on that one.
Yeah, I want to know whether or not coming to see Chris Wiles and Chris Wiles does your bachelorette party, whether or not that right there is a success for marriage.
Yeah, and then who knows, maybe, when you sit or retire, if you could maybe do some matchmaking part-time on that.
Oh, that'd be good.
Chris Wiles, the matchmaker.
One of my favorite things to do at bachelorette parties was ask him where the bachelor was that particular night. And there were quite a few times where we actually called the bachelor to find out what he was doing.
Oh my Lord!
And then I'd be like, I'm here with, let's say the girl's name was Susan. I'm here with Susan, and she'd like to talk to you right now, but she's a little busy below my belt at the moment.
That's awesome. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then just hang up on them and wait for that whole circus to start.
Open that can of worms.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, man. I really appreciate it, and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this for me.
No problem, man. And let your listeners and your fan base know that right now, obviously, the comedy clubs are not open. There's no stand-up comedy going on. But I'm frequently doing different videos to keep the area entertained on my fan page on Facebook, which is The Chris Wiles. So you can find me and make sure you send everybody to The Chris Wiles. The more followers I have, the better chance I have of getting even more famous. And it's already been set that when the Comedy Zone does open back up, I will be the first headliner back in that club. So we don't know what that date's going to be, but as soon as they open the doors and allow people to gather again, I'll be returning to the Comedy Zone to bring the funny to everybody after all this Corona mess.
That's absolutely awesome. Yeah, give somebody like me something to to look forward to once this is all over with, and I would definitely look forward to that show for sure.
Absolutely, man, and I'll even buy you a shot.
Oh man, I'm down. I'm so down.
Bet, brother. Well, man, I appreciate you thinking of me during this time, and best of luck to you, and look forward to seeing you at my show whenever we get the go light for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is Chris Wiles. Check him out on Facebook. Check him out on his videos, and stay tuned for that upcoming date at the Comedy Zone. You're not gonna want to miss it.
Perfect.
Boom, done.